The Trump administration has done a lot of rewriting. They have rewritten our tax laws to the benefit of corporations and the super rich. The Trump administration has rewritten all sorts of federal regulations. And now, after rewriting yet another regulation, the Trump administration is rewriting the Statue of Liberty.
Would you also agree that Emma Lazarus's words etched on the Statue of Liberty, "Give me your tired, your poor," are also part of the American ethos?
They certainly are. Give me your tired and your poor who can stand on their own 2 feet and who will not become a public charge.
His name is Cuccinelli, Ken Cuccinelli, and he is the newest guardian of our immigration laws. Cuccinelli is not a Cherokee name. It is not a Wampanoag name. There were no Cuccinellis on the Mayflower. Mr. Cuccinelli is from a relatively recently arrived immigrant clan. And when his Cuccinelli forebears arrived in this country, they entered the country over the objections of people just like Ken Cuccinelli, the people who didn't want immigrants like the Cuccinellis coming into this country. And that included descendants of the immigrants who arrived on the Mayflower, and it included the more recently arrived massive waves of Irish immigrants to this country who didn't want competition for housing and jobs from a new wave of Italian immigrants. And so our waves of immigration have always been unwelcome to some degree by the people who are already here, including the descendants of recently arrived immigrants who are already here, like Ken Cuccinelli. Ken Cuccinelli is not trying to stop Italian immigration or Irish immigration to this country. He's trying to stop people with Spanish names. And so he has rewritten the rules of applying immigration law in such a way to make it much tougher for legal immigrants to this country to be able to stay in this country if they cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they will never, ever lose a job, even temporarily, and file for unemployment insurance. Ken Cuccinelli and Donald Trump will only consider allowing immigrants to stay if they can prove that they will never become, in the language of the law, quote, a public charge. Donald Trump and Ken Cuccinelli have never admitted, and probably do not know, that the government of the United States actually makes a very, very big profit on undocumented immigrants in this country who hold jobs that Americans don't want. And the part of the government that benefits the most from the labor of the undocumented workers is the part of the government that just hands out cash to American citizens. Social Security. Undocumented workers contribute about $13 billion a year to the Social Security trust funds, and they withdraw zero because they are using false Social Security numbers to hold their jobs. Social Security numbers that they can never use to claim retirement benefits under Social Security. The Social Security Administration knows this, and they've known it for decades, and they count on that money. The Social Security Administration knows that the solvency of the Social Security trust funds would fall off a cliff without the massive Social Security contributions made by undocumented workers who never, ever withdraw any money that they have contributed to the Social Security trust funds in the form of retirement pensions. There is no economic logic to the new Trump-Cuccinelli regulation. It is a regulation written in economic ignorance with malice aforethought. In today's Houston Chronicle, Richard Parker wrote, "To me, Trumpism resembles nothing so much as a rudimentary apartheid, which in South Africa not only segregated whites and blacks, but also Indians and people of mixed race." And so now we have the Cuccinelli contribution to the Trump apartheid immigration system. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.